Kisu Guslim, Kisu Kukit, Kisu Quiet. Welcome back, everyone, to another wonderful Warrior Wednesdays. I'm your host, Kanchuke Tismiet, also known as Peter White. And today I have an interesting topic to talk about. It's about preparation, and some people never prepare themselves for anything in life. And when you take just a little bit of time to prepare things, you can do so much drastic wonders. They say the human mind only has so many good choices per day. And a lot of us will spend time actually deciding and debating on things that honestly take a lot of your brain power, a lot of your willpower, and they don't realize this. By the end of the day, they exerted their brain so much that they just feel exhausted. And recently, I've some of you know that I'm a union iron worker, right? And recently, I started a new job. I'm working on a new subway line here in Vancouver. So when I got the phone call to go back to work, I wasn't prepared. I was kind of just not prepared. Wasn't prepared, so I had to rush. I had some new boots, new laces for my boots that I never put on, and then I had bought new insoles for my boots, and I decided to string them up the day of going back to work. Usually in construction, they'll have a day or two, depending on where you work. Here on this job, it's 2 days of orientation. And on the second day, halfway through the day, you actually go out to the job site and you meet everyone and you do all that stuff. And that second day, I waited to get my boots all ready. So here I am, like, kind of scrambling to put the new shoelaces in, and then I threw the new insoles in, and I wasn't really paying attention to when I was putting the insoles in. And then, so I'd been working for a few days, and my feet just felt like my boots. They felt super uncomfortable. And I've worn these boots before. I've had these boots for about a year now, and they were never like this. They were never that uncomfortable. And when I was walking around the steel, my feet were hurting more. That they weren't used to walking on steel because I had a little bit of time off, but they hurt more than usual. And one morning, I showed up to work early. I like to show up to work early, and I pulled the insoles out, and I realized that I had put them backwards. So I had put the left insole on the right boot and the right insole on the left boot, and that's why they didn't feel good, because they weren't in the proper shoes, so I wasn't getting that proper placement on the soles. And I just never realized that. So I took them out and I switched them over, and as soon as I put my boots on, they felt comfortable. They felt like they had felt like the last year. And I was like, wow, if I had taken the time when I had some days off to put the shoes, put the laces in my boots, put the insoles in proper, none of this would have happened. And I am a person that really does take time to prepare things. even for these podcasts, I'll get ideas and I'll write them down as soon as I get them. And then before I go to record, I'll think about one specific podcast that I want to record on and what topic. And then I'll go over my notes before I record, just to kind of bring that back into my mind, because we can only hold so much in our mind, and sometimes I'll forget about something. I'm like, oh yeah, I really like that topic. I'm gonna touch on that one. And sometimes I just I just know what I'm gonna talk about. Like this week, I knew what I was gonna talk about, and preparing yourself. Some people, there's a fine balance between that, because some people will always be preparing themselves before they actually do the thing, right? They will procrastinate. They'll say, oh, I'm not ready. Oh, I need to have the perfect thing. I need this to have. I'm not talking about that preparation. I'm talking about just doing a little bit of, say this podcast, as I talked about, I wrote some notes down. I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about. I read over my notes again. That preparing, when I'm working, what I will do is the night before, I will actually grab my clothes. And you could do this for, anywhere, you grab your clothes and you lay them out, the clothes you're going to wear the next day, because that actually takes out one thing in the morning to decide on. Instead of getting that brain fatigue at the end of the day, you can use that time on spending on what to wear and to pick out the night before. So all you have to do is, get up and get dressed in your clothes, and you're good to go. You don't have to make that time to decide on what you want to wear. As long as if it's done the night before, it's good. That's what I will do all the time. I will always lay my clothes out, pick them out, what I want to wear. And that's what I learned a while ago on how that allows you to prepare for the next day. Even in the mornings, even at nighttime, I have my night routine, and I prepare for the next day. If I'm going to have a French press coffee, I'll pre-grind my grounds the night before, because I have a grinding machine that grinds them to the proper fine grounds that I need. And then I'll fill up my kettle with water the night before, so all I have to do is turn the kettle on. And if I'm drinking out of my Nespresso machine, I'll make sure I fill up all the Nespresso with water. So all I have to do is just grab the pod, put it in, and press start. Press power on. I'll have my lunch all laid out. I'll have it all kind of put in one spot, and I'll prepare myself that way. And even before I go to the gym after work, I'll have my gym clothes laid out in my gym bag. So when I get home, all I gotta do is change real quickly and then head off to the gym. I've created this habit, lifestyle of going to the gym. So I'm okay with going home and then going to the gym. But some people, they cannot do that. They can't go home and then go to the gym because they get lazy. If you're that type of person that can't do that, then I recommend that you bring your gym stuff with you and everything you need to go to the gym. So when you leave work, you can go straight to the gym. Or vice versa. If you work out in the morning, it's just even better for you. Then you don't even have to worry about that. But if you're that type of person that hasn't created that discipline, that lifestyle of going to the gym, and you're wanting to go to the gym, then you need to bring your stuff with you. Prepare the night before. Preparing the night before saves you so much time, so much stress, so much anxiety the next day. And it actually feels like it takes me less time at nighttime to prepare than if I were to do it in the morning and rush around. I've tried it before, and that way didn't work for me. And if I had took the time to prepare to get my boots ready, my feet wouldn't have hurt for 3 days, 4 days. And I'm working in like 10-hour days, and I'm like, man, if I would, and I just laughed at myself. I'm like, if I would have spent the time like I've done everything else to prepare, to get it all ready, when I got that call for work, I would have been cool. I would have just put my boots on, good to go. But I didn't. And I paid the price for that. I had sore feet. And that's the thing that some people don't do. If you're trying to reach a goal, if you're trying to do something in your life, taking that little bit of extra time to prepare will do wonders. It can actually probably save you hours later on. It could save you time later on to allow you to do other things. And I always set out to do my podcast on a certain day, and then this week it didn't work out. But I know I was already prepared with my notes, and I knew what I was going to talk about. So when it comes time to record this, I'm ready. I'm set. I know what I'm doing. But if I had to scramble and think of an idea, and it would be frustrating. It would take me a lot longer. I wouldn't enjoy sitting here talking. So take the time to prepare. Allow your brain to not be so stressed out. Allow your mind, your body to enjoy the process. And when we take that time to prepare, we can enjoy the process later on. That's like, now I know my schedule where I'm working at. I even prepare filling up my vehicle with gas. I'll actually do it in the morning because it's super quiet at the gas station. And all I do is prepare to leave like 10-15 minutes early because it's actually on the way to work. And then I'm not rushing. I'm there 10 minutes early, get out, pump my gas, get back in, head off to work. And I usually make it there. Sometimes I make it there a little bit earlier than when I would regularly get there. That's one life skill, if you are not doing, will totally transform your life. So I challenge you this week to take time to prepare. Even if you're that person that struggles in the morning to pick out what they want to wear, and for most men, it's not that bad of a thing for us. But you ladies, sometimes I know that, because I grew up with sisters, and I grew up around women, so I know that you women are guilty of that. You women are guilty of taking a lot of time in the morning to pick out what you want to wear. And that's very fatiguing on your brain, especially when you're in that delta state, that learning state in the morning. You're spending time, energy to pick and choose what you want, instead of the night before saying, hey, I'm gonna wear this. You pick it all out, you find a space to lay it out in your bedroom, and when you wake up in the morning, it's already there, and you'll have more time to invest into yourself. You won't be as stressed out because you already have that outfit picked out. That can cause a lot of stress on people, is figuring out what they want to wear. That's just one simple way of mitigating stress and anxiety on yourself. So if you're someone who is that person who struggles in the morning with what they want to wear, then just pick it out the night before, and you'll thank yourself later on. You're setting yourself up for success. That's what you do when you prepare. You're setting yourself up. You're paving the way for success. You're taking the steps, the fundamental steps to be able to reach that goal a lot easier, a lot quicker. It's still going to take work, still going to take dedication, but it's just going to be slightly that much better than it would have if you didn't take that time. So prepare, but don't over prepare. There's that fine balance, on procrastinating and preparing. There is a massive difference. Just remember that nothing's going to be perfect. It's never ever gonna align to, the earth and the stars and everything aren't gonna align for that perfect blissful moment for you to start working on what you've been dreaming about. But take a little bit of time to prepare. Take a little bit of time to learn. Take a little bit of time to study things. Just don't procrastinate, because procrastinating isn't the same thing as preparing. So with that, I hope you got something out of this podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube, I want to hear in the comments on what, one thing that you slack on preparing, and one thing you're going to do to start preparing to make your life easier. I want to know what you do, what you're going to do. And if you're listening to this on, a podcast app, jump over to YouTube and comment. Say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Because I really want to know what people, the community, everyone, all you listening, all you supporters, what you procrastinate on. Because I just told you what I was procrastinating on was my work boots. And everything else I'm pretty good with, though. I just had to pay that price with the sore feet. So I hope you don't, pay your price with sore feet, and you take some time to prepare and plan. So with that, I'm going to say on Winnegit, Dagas. See you next Wednesday. Remember, everything always happens for the right reasons. Take care, all my wealthy warriors.